So Wayne, I own Checker Cab here in Clearwater, Florida. We have strictly taxis. We have 50 cars right now. The drivers do pay a weekly lease. You guys have cashiering, right?
That's correct. Yes, we do.
Okay. Looking at the information survey you sent me, I can tell you a little bit about us. We've got we charge the drivers, included in their weekly lease is their insurance. We use vouchers and we're looking to take credit cards. Is that something you can help us with?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. I'm not exactly sure how many average trips we dispatch per day. We'll have a better understanding of that once we have some software to do that. We're not real happy with our current software. We just do radio, and we don't really have any MDTs right now. It's more computer aided. And we don't have any way to take trips from like a smartphone, and we don't have any way to take trips from our website. Is that also something that you can show me?
Absolutely, and that's something you're looking to do, is to do some kind of app or reserve trips through your website.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about some of the apps I'm seeing on the market. They sort of go against, the taxi industry. They're not very fleet friendly. So I'm hopeful that you guys have something that can help us with that, as well as electronic billing and vouchers. We really don't have any way to do standing orders or future reservations or caller ID. So I'm hoping those are things you can help me address too.
Yeah, Chris, you're going to find out that TranWare is not only just a dispatching software company, but also the back office is pretty robust as well. So if you're ready to go, I'm going to jump into how an order entry is done.
Yeah, let's start there.
What's going to happen is when your order entry person takes a call, your caller ID will fill in the name or the phone number or both, and if its history is done with that customer in the past, it'll autofill that in for them. So it'll show them the trips they've done before in the past. So you kind of build a history as you go. So if Mr. Smith calls in and he's going from the hospital to home, you'll know that from the history that he's done, and you can ask him, hey, are you returning that trip again? So if someone calls in and they're today going from Outback, let's say, Outback restaurant to the airport, and these will all fill in these will auto-populate as you type in the actual name itself, and you'll see how quickly that was put in there. You're not typing out every single address and information. Here you could put comments in, pick me up around back, non-smoking. Another great thing is with the attributes. These attributes can be put in here as well. I want a non-smoking, Spanish-speaking cab. And what TranWare will do is find that actual cab for you.
Are those customizable? Can I add some to those?
You can. You can customize this to your business and add to whatever particular thing that you guys do for your fleet. So if you had a bike rack in there or a wide wheelchair van, you could also add those in there as well. So TranWare will actually find that car that has that non-smoking Spanish-speaking person and book that for you. So I'm going to go ahead and book this job, and you're going to see how quickly this pops up. This is what the driver sees. This will be his MDT in the car. It's a 7-inch tablet. You've probably seen them in the past. If you're familiar with iPads, they're a little smaller than the iPad. You also hear a ting as well, and what that does is it alerts the driver. He might be standing outside the car. This lets him know that a job is coming through. He'll accept this, and you'll see that the accept button is a little larger than the reject. Kind of leans toward that. And you'll see the actual job that we put in. The pickup is there, and the drop-off is there as well. If your driver's not familiar with the area, we have a map feature that you can use. This is all touchscreen, by the way. So you touch the map, and you're able to see where the pickup is.
Now, is that like a purpose-built or a custom device that I don't have any other use for? Or is that like an Android device that it's like an open source device?
It's an open source device, so it's built in there.
Okay, so this just runs on the Android operating system?
It does. It runs on the Android.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll see here, you can also do turn by turn. So if the driver's not familiar with the area, he can do a turn by turn, and it'll guide him, by voice to that location. So we'll go back to the main screen. Simultaneously, as this is running, you also have a dispatch screen that actually shows that job. And you'll see that job has been accepted, and it's in green. Now, once the driver loads it on his end, which I just pushed that load screen, you're going to see this change color into load. So you saw how that changed from green to burgundy.
Can I customize those colors?
Yes, they can be customized to your liking.
Good.
Just like you do with the attributes. A lot of this stuff is customized to you. So yes, we could definitely customize that for you. So now dispatch can see that was loaded at 9:24. They know that there's a passenger in that vehicle. Now on the screen here, it shows it. We've got to our location, and we're going to complete this transaction. And I hit complete, and we have a few ways that we can cash out or pay. One's cash, credit, accounts, comps, and there's tolls in there as well. So we're going to pay credit at this time. Ask if I agree to the surcharge. And those surcharges can be changed as well and customizable to you. I'm going to say yes. And it takes me to a screen here where I can add the tip in. So we're going to do a 20% tip and then enter. Now here's why I swipe the credit card. This is the device we use. It's a P25. It's being connected by Bluetooth, not connected by wire to the actual tablet. So customer will slide, or driver will slide the card, and the receipt pops up. And there's your signature area. Now we'll pull this off, give this to the customer to sign, and then we'll have another receipt that will pop up for the driver to keep to match up at the end of his day for cashiering purposes. So what do you think so far? Is this something you guys can utilize? Okay. So, Chris, is this something you think your fleet can use?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some cars that I don't know, we'll need a receipt. So that other device there, that Roam data device, is that something we could also use for the handful of cars that don't need receipts?
Yeah, if you don't need receipts, this plugs into the top of the tablet where the ear jack is. And like you said, though, it will not print a receipt, but it does give you the capability of taking credit cards through the tablet as well. So that's an option.
Okay, great.
So right here on the tablet, it says the payment was complete. I hit OK. And we're back to the screen ready to take another job. Once again, dispatch has logged all this and taken the monies, and you'll know before the driver gets back at the end of the day what that transaction was. So all his receipts that he pulls off or brings back in should match up to his cashiering at the end of the day.
Okay.
Okay. Along with dispatching, we also have tracking as well. GPS tracking on the vehicles is done through a software or through a site here that's called Tabs on Cabs. What this does is show you exactly where your cabs are on the map and show them in real time with, I think, a 30-second refresh. So every 30 seconds, you'll see these move around. Off to the right here shows you their color codes and how they're assigned. If they're assigned or busy, they'll have different colors. So if you see me hover over number 1, I could find it, even though it might be behind another tab here. I'm able to locate that vehicle just by hovering over it. Also, if you're not happy with this map, you could always go to another map, maybe a Google map that you're familiar with. If you want to go satellite as well, you can jump to the Google satellite. So this shows you multiple uses for the map. And I could get right down to street level here and see where my cars are. So is that something that would be handy for you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, so I can see where the cars are at real time. I can look at different map views, and I see there's like a jobs button. What does that mean?
These are jobs that are actually assigned and that hasn't been picked up yet. Once they are, then the dollar sign turns green and the jobs are loaded. We also have a playback feature, and this playback feature, what it does is allow you to look back at certain vehicles up to a week prior, so you can see what they've done in the day. Let's say that this customer started at 8 a.m. or this driver started at 8 a.m. and he had a 12-hour shift at 8 p.m. I could see through this mapping what his day was like. Once I hit play, it'll show me his day. If I want to put a breadcrumb on there, I can, to show where he's been, kind of show his tracking to see if he's making the best efficient time. You can see he had a job there, picked it up, paid, and now he's heading north to another one. You also see your zones as well marked out in the black lines as well. So you can kind of make sure that if you know, cab 1 here is in zone, however you designate him to, that he's staying within that zone. So this kind of shows him where he is, when he was picked up, what time he picked up, when he was due, and when he dropped off. It also show a customer number as well, which should sync up with your dispatching feature. So it's a good way to track your guys to see if they're taking the best, most efficient routes, if they're going outside the area, why are they going outside that area, and keeps them accountable. It's like you sitting next to them all day long.
Got it.
So I could remove those breadcrumbs. I could also remove the zones as well. If they feel that they're in the way, I can always pull those out. And that's something that we'll design and help you with. Are you using zones at this time?
Yes, we are. Is that something you guys can help us set back?
Yeah, we'll actually customize those for you, and we'll work with you closely in the training portion to build your zones on these maps and try to make it more efficient too. Some people have multiple zones, probably more than they need, and we try to combine some of those and make them more efficient for you and the drivers. So that's playback. We're going to go back to live here and back to the cabs again. Now, if you've got a fleet that runs multiple, or if you tend to grow and you want to open up in another location or another city, you could run this with multiple maps. So if I want to dive into my other market here, it's just a matter of sliding over and diving down into it, and I can see what my other fleet is doing. So that's kind of handy. That shows multiple fleets here without having to go back and forth to different tabs. Do you have any questions at this time? I know we're just touching the surface here, but basically this is TranWare.
Yeah, okay. So let's go back, and can you just show me what the standing order screen looks like how I would enter in a standing order versus a regular order?
Sure. So your standing orders is just right under your same operator screen under standing orders. You click on this, and these would be your standing orders already in place. Standing orders, just double-click that, and there's the actual standing order already there. So there's no real work to do. It's just click on, and there's the price. You can name the price. Once again, put the attributes in there. and you're ready to go. It's that simple.
Got it.
And you can also see the checkoffs here for the days of the week that the standing orders would be set for. It's active. And as far as training goes, this is something we would do with you or your crew, whoever's going to be using this. We'll get with you one-on-one online like we're doing right now and dive into each one of these drivers, set them up, get their cars set up, and help you along the way. One other feature I want to talk to you about also is the push-to-talk feature. You say you're using radios now. What are you paying a month on those radios, roughly?
I think it ends up being about $25 per month per device when you factor everything in. Probably another $1,000 a year for maintenance and support on those.
Okay. So if that went away, that wouldn't bother you if you didn't have to pay that anymore.
No, it wouldn't bother me at all. But I'd still want some way to be able to communicate, voice with the drivers. Do you guys have a way to do that?
Yeah, I'm going to show you that right now. This is a push-to-talk. It's a button here that is on the same screen that everything else is for the driver to see. He holds this button down, push-to-talk button, and as he holds it down and speaks, he can talk back to dispatch directly.
Okay.
Once he releases...
Can he talk to the other cars?
No, he can only talk to dispatch.
Okay,
now, dispatch can talk to all cars or one car at a time. But drivers cannot talk back and forth to each other. There can't be any chatter between drivers, only between dispatch and driver. So that pops up and shows, it puts in a queue. So if you got multiple people calling in, you say if you got 50 cars, if 25 are calling at the same time, they'll be queued up. So dispatch can see who called in first, grab that call, answer whatever they need to, and then the next driver or next call comes up and they take care of it. So it takes the place of pretty much radio at this point, or even cell phones, and it's all done through the tablet, through the data. One other feature that we have here is our application that goes on your cell phone. It's an Android application, so you would give this to your your folks in your area. They would load this on their phone and hail a cab that way. So if I was going in here to hail a cab, I would just do a pickup.
So I saw this on your brochure, and it said that if I loaded my own promotional code in here or made it available to my customers in my area, I wouldn't be charged anything for those trips. But if somebody came into my market from another area or got the application from another fleet perhaps or another source, then it's simply just a 75-cent charge for a referral charge for those trips. Is that right?
That's correct. So if somebody flies in from another location and lands into your location, into Clearwater, and then they get a cab through their application, then yes, you're charged. But you wouldn't have that job. Probably not.
It's a job.
Without
it's a job that I may not have gotten normally.
Exactly.
And if the job goes straight into my dispatch system and automatically dispatches without having to have any human interaction, 75 cents is probably a bargain because I pay my people hourly, and it takes 5 to 10 minutes per job to get it dispatched. So I could see where this would obviously make a lot of sense.
It does. It doesn't tie up your lines from somebody calling in and trying to book a fare. This is done directly from their Android device directly to your dispatch.
Now, can they dispatch? Does this application, is there an opportunity for this to cut out the fleet? In other words, can this go straight to a driver and then sort of undermine me?
You could set it up not to undermine you, but I mean you could see the job come through. If you don't want it to go to that driver, you can handle it at that time, but it can go directly to the driver if you wanted it to.
Okay.
So, but you're going to see every job come through through the app, through your dispatch screen. I'm going to demonstrate that right now. So here's a job that I'm going to do. I'm going to repeat this trip that I've done. This is one of my favorites that I take all the time. I go from Publix to this location. So once again, here's the phone, if you will. Just imagine this as your phone, and this is the actual tablet for the vehicle. That's in the driver's vehicle.
The customer's on the left there. That's the customer's smartphone.
Right. This is their smartphone here, and then here's the driver's, what he would see, and we're also going to see a dispatch screen here that's going to show this in motion.
Oh, I see. So that's it right there. It looks like the one maybe in yellow.
Yes, it's the one in yellow, and you'll see on here that the rate is Next Taxi NT.
I see.
So there's our ting again that tells me that there's a job coming in. Lets me be aware of that. You can see on the this is a job offer. It doesn't show me the address or where this is. It just tells me that there's a job.
Okay.
So I accept it. Meanwhile, dispatch is seeing this go down the whole time. They're knowing what car it's going to, what vehicle it's going to. On your on the customer's screen, you can see that it's showing the name of your company, which we would customize to Checker Cab, the cab number it's coming, the driver's name, and we've left a space over here to the right. They actually put a photograph of the actual driver if you wanted to. Another great thing is the ETA. You know, you might get calls back to dispatch, hey, where's my cab? Where's my cab? We called it 20 minutes ago. Well, this is going to prevent that by having the ETA countdown clock on there. They know exactly where the car is all times. And they can actually see the car. This is the actual cab here, and here's where you are. So I could see it coming. So it's real time, showing me on a map where my cab is. Here's the actual job for the actual driver, what he sees in the tablet. He sees the pickup, and this was done from the Android device. I can load it once I accept it. Once it's loaded, same thing on dispatch, it'll change colors. And now you can see the estimated time and distance between the cab and the customer. The estimated time is 3 minutes and 41 seconds. It's about an eighth, 3/4 of a mile out and 1.25 miles away. And he's got a 0.88 miles remaining. So we get in the cab, we get to the location we're going, I hit complete, and here's where I do the fare. This is $12.38 fare. There was no tolls. Now here's another scenario we can put into the actual device itself, the Android devices. The customer could put their credit card in here. And what that does is instead of swiping it and getting a receipt, now it's used inside the actual device itself. So the credit card's loaded from the customer. He can use that, or he can pay the driver directly. In this case, we're going to pay the driver directly. And now it asks me to rate the trip. So I can, you can get instant feedback on how your drivers are doing. Was the actual Next Taxi easy to use? Was the driver good or bad? Would you use this again? And you can rate these as you go down and get instant feedback of how your fleet is operating. So I hit done, and I'm finished with my job here. It's going to ask me to pay. Once again, I could do credit, cash, accounts, or tolls. I'm going to hit credit again. Do you agree to pay the surcharge? Yes.
Okay.
Here's where I swipe.
So you're saying if I got my local municipality to agree to a credit card surcharge, your system supports it?
It does. Is it supported in your area?
I'm unsure. I need to look into that.
Okay. Yeah, every area is different. So I've swiped the card. I've accepted it. Once again, I can use the credit card that's built into the actual device, into the smartphone, or I can use one I can pull out of my wallet and use. So let me swipe it again. And then there's your receipt. The tip is on there, and where they sign is on there as well.
Okay, good. All right, so can you show me, you showed me the dispatch screen, you showed me standing orders, you showed me this Next Taxi app. Would it be okay if I got my accounting people and we scheduled a separate demo to look at the back office, the cashiering and the billing and what have you?
Absolutely. And we could dive a little deeper into this. We're just showing you the tip of the iceberg here of what TranWare can do on the dispatch side. We do have the cashiering, the billing modules that we can dive into deeper if you'd like.
Okay. I don't think I have any other questions. I just wanted to verify a few things with you verbally. We already talked about push-to-talk and Next Taxi. Now there is a separate fee for push-to-talk. I guess we can talk about that if we want to get into the quotes.
Right.
And by default, if I'm looking at your brochure properly, even your basic system comes with the dispatch. It comes with the mapping that you showed me. It has a certain amount of zones that are included. That also includes automatic dispatch, caller ID, web booking. So that's the website where you would give me the form to put on my website, and those trips will go straight into the TranWare system. Right.
We'll help customize that towards you, and that's also included.
Okay, all right. And then I see here on the more advanced, as you call it, your pro version. That's where I get the cashiering, billing, additional dispatch area, and even vehicle maintenance if I want to do that. And then, if I'm reading this right, optionally it says that you also have medical interfaces for like Medicare trips. That if I was to do those, there's a driver payment card that I can use. I guess that's to pay the driver's loyalty card solution as well.
Yep.
And then
that's
you
on
have
the pro version, of course.
Yeah, and it says here on your brochure, of course, that that's an add-on. And push-to-talk is an add-on. We can talk about that. And then 1099K module. So that you explained that to me previously, that was in the cashiering program where at the end of the year, for all of my voucher and credit card trips, I can simply put a blank 1099K form in my printer and print a report from your system that automatically fills those fields. Does that work pretty well?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, that's one of our more popular features is that 1099 feature and module. It does exactly what you just said. So, and we could dive into that, and I could show you some demonstrations on that with your accountant in our next demonstration.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for now, Wayne. Thanks. You've been real helpful.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time, Chris, and we'll speak to you later and get a quote out to you directly.
Sounds good. Thanks again.
Thank you.